The top 1% of players are abusing mechanics that the other 99% don't even know exist in Madden 26. Luckily for you, in this video I'm breaking down all 5 of those mechanics so that you can stop wondering why you're losing to players who seem like they're cheating every game. I will warn you though, if you skip out on any of these 5 mechanics, it could be the reason you're still getting sacked or your offense is trash here in Madden 26, and I wouldn't want that to happen to you, so let's jump right into it. The first secret mechanic I want to break down is actually a way to unlock extra hot routes that are glitched on your players and which ones are the best to use. Let me show you. Alright, so first I'm going to break down how you can get extra hot routes on your running back. So really what you have to do, I'm in the Ben Kurt Dines playbook. This play in particular is going to allow me to do that. Shift, bounce, mesh, drive, right? This is best from either Ben Kurt or the Browns playbook. So you want to be in one of those. It really doesn't matter the hash mark that you're on. I'll just put the ball on the wide side here, or excuse me, my bunch on the short side. But what you have to do is flip your play, and then you're going to put your running back on whatever hot route. So you see how I put my running back on a table route when I flip my play, and now he's going to run this inverted kind of table route. So again, any route that you put him on, it's going to be inverted like this. And so you see how when they're in man coverage right now, you're going to be able to just outflank that guy inside because it's a unique route. How do you even cover that? But the key is making sure he's on a motion. If you have to call a play where the running back is in motion, so an auto motion right here. So again, what you're going to do, you're going to call this play, and then you're going to flip your play, and as he's in motion, you're going to put him on whatever route that you wanted him to run. So now you're going to see I put him on an angle route, so he's going to be running this inverted kind of angle route right here, or kind of backwards angle. So this route actually cooks man coverage, as you guys, or some people know, but like I said, not enough people know about how good these kind of backwards routes are. So again, boom, take the snap, running back is on a backwards angle route, and so he's going to be able to create separation, get open down the sideline. So that's a great use case. You have the table route, the inverted table route. You have the inverted angle route, which again cooks man coverage. That time he kind of, I mean, he was open. I completed it without freeforming, so he was open. But also, another great one that you can use is if you flip your play and you put him on a wheel route. And so now you have this inverted wheel where now you call probably just something like this. Or I'll just call something like this, and now your running back is just going to be able to get open in that area. Now you see how he's wide open right there. Obviously they blitzed us right there, but it's like that's going to be a great way, because who thinks to defend this? Why would the running back be on a wheel like this? Now I certainly should have just hit my out route, but look how wide open this guy is because there's no one following him. They're in match coverage. No one picks him up because that's how match coverage works. You're basically taking the guys that are on the same side as you. But again, the way that you're going to do it is you're going to make sure that you have your running back on a motion play. You're going to flip your play, and now whatever you put him on, now he's going to run that route inverted. So again, the best options in my opinion are just, I mean, you could put him really on a corner route if you want. You can put him on an angle, a table route. Those are great options for you, and you're just going to notice how just going to absolutely cook against man coverage, and against a super unique play, a super unique route that you need to take advantage of. But it's really not just the running backs, because it follows the same exact kind of glitch here, what the glitch is, and it's just a motion play where you have that guy in motion. So now I'm going to come into gun bunch tight end, and I'm going to call really any play with a motion. So I'm going to scroll here. The one I'm going to, I guess, find is going to be cheat, tight end, hitch, halfback, seam. All right. So I'm going to call this play, and then I'm going to flip the play. And so now the guy that's going to be in motion, I'm going to put him on a slot fade. And so now this is a slot fade, but it's an inverted slot fade. So now it's going to actually just run right down the middle of the field. So this is going to be really great when they run like cover 2 or cover 3, because now you're just going to be able to get your man to just run right down the middle. So you're just going to see how he's going to bend this route off, get to the middle, and that's an easy completion where you're able to sometimes speed boost and score. And so that's really the glitch mechanic here, is utilizing these inverted routes because he's in motion. Now, you notice how specifically from this bunch tight end formation, Jacoby Myers is the guy that's on the motion, which means when I flip the play, Brian Thomas Jr. is going to be on the motion because they flip assignments where he's going to be the inside receiver. So I flip, and then while they're behind the line of scrimmage, I put him on this slot fade, and now he's running an inverted slot fade. Now, I would never call this against man coverage, this specific play. It would only really be against cover 2 and cover 3 because you're trying to get the ball, down the middle of the field just for an easy gain. So we're going to go with it again right here. This time they're going to be in cover 2, and so we're just going to be able to throw that pass right there and complete it. Sometimes if there's no mid-read, it's going to be even more wide open, but that's how you see these players getting these extra hot routes on their receivers and their running backs, is they're utilizing plays that have a motion, and then they're flipping their play, and then when you flip, now you're getting these inverted routes, which attacks areas of defense that you wouldn't be able to if you weren't using this glitch. Alright, so the next secret mechanic I want to break down that the top players are using but not going to tell anyone is actually a way to know what play the offense is calling when you're on defense. Let me show you what I'm talking about. Alright, so this way that you're going to know their play is actually, you're going to know when they're calling an RPO, alright? And so really the way that you're going to do this is, what you're going to notice if you load up on offense, if you look at your play art, when you call an RPO, like 95% of the time, your running back is going to be the A button, or I should say 95% of the time it's an RPO, or excuse me, 95% of the time he's A, it is an RPO. Sometimes he'll be RB, sometimes he'll be Y, but if he's A, then you know it's going to be an RPO, right? And so like almost every play in your playbook where he's the A button, or that would be X on PlayStation, and RPO is coming. So how you're going to use that to your advantage here on defense is you're going to open the quick adjustments menu. So you're going to press D-pad right twice, then you're going to press A or X. You're going to flick the right stick up, and now you're going to see how he is going to be the A button. You're going to be able to see all of the icons of all of the receivers. You wouldn't be able to do this if you weren't using this, secret here. So what you're going to do, again, D-pad right twice, then you're going to press A, or that would be X on PlayStation. You're going to flick the right stick up, and so now you're going to see all of their buttons. Now, here's the key that a lot of players miss when I break this down. You do not need to man up the running back. The running back's not going to be getting the ball. It's an RPO. He's either going to be taking the ball in a handoff, or they're going to throw a pass to a receiver. So you don't need to play man coverage on the running back. So instead, what you're going to do is you're going to man up on whoever you think is getting the ball. So in this formation, it might be Brian Thomas Jr., or it could just be, RB, the tight end. So I know that it's going to be RB here. So I'm going to man him up and then shade underneath. A very common one that you're going to play against is from gun Y off trips. It's called RPO read Y flat, right? Where on that play, you do the RPO check. You press D-pad to the right twice, then you press A, you flick the right stick up, and it's the tight end that's getting the ball in that play. So you're going to obviously man up the tight end. And so now what you're going to see is, even in this case, what's going to happen is when they snap the ball, we're going to basically just going to have two guys sitting on that pass to break it away. You're going to have your hard flat, right, because you're shading your coverage underneath, and your pass committing. Pass committing is going to make sure that your defenders aren't looking into the backfield to defend the RPO. So you're going to shade underneath, you're going to pass commit just like this, boom. You're going to guard this, but then you also have a guy manned up onto him who's going to make a beeline out here. So essentially, you're going to have two guys sitting on that RPO target. Again, the reason why this is valuable is because here in this formation, they don't have any blockers actually for this tight end. Like, he breaks out of the flat, no one's blocking for him. But like in other formations, right, maybe if I were to, for example, I was to motion Brian Thomas Jr. over. Well, now they have a blocker. So if you just have one guy, maybe you just have the man up, or you just have the hard flat, well, now he's going to get picked up by the blocker. So that's why you want to make sure that you have both of those. But again, D-pad right twice, then you're going to press A, his icon. You're going to flick the right stick up, open the man coverage menu to get the RPO tell, your confirmation. And again, just because he's not RB, the running back, or excuse me, he's not A, doesn't mean it's not an RPO. You just know that when I see he's A or X on PlayStation, it's an RPO. You just set up the defense, you're good to go. So now I'm going to man up the tight end, I'm going to shade underneath, I'm going to press RB, right stick up to pass to my defense, and so now you're going to see how one of these guys should get blocked, right? Or actually that time he didn't. That's the thing though too, it's like, sometimes that receiver, he just whiffs on his blocking assignment. You see how he gets up here and leaves that guy to just block him, which works for us on defense, but I'm telling you, sometimes he'll just get up here, block this man, but then that's why you have him manned up right here to come over here and make this tackle for a loss of yards. So also, when you're, their play's coming, so it's going to be an RPO, but you also have to be ready to stop the RPO run, because you could stop the RPO pass all you want, but if you're not ready to loop around and shoot the gap with your user, they're just going to not throw the pass, and even though you have great defense for it, it's not going to matter. So again, D-pad right twice, man up whoever thinks getting the ball once you get that RPO tell, and then you're just going to run in free, to be able to tackle that ball carrier in the backfield. I'm holding two controllers, but you're just just going to just loop around that offensive line and then walk in the backfield. I'm not going to end on that one right there, but boom, you're going to loop around, you see the gaps open, and then you bring him down just like that. So RPO check, you're using the D-pad to open the man coverage menu, you're confirming the running back is A, and then you're looping through to tackle him in the backfield once you stop the RPO pass. Alright, so if you're enjoying this breakdown of 5 hidden mechanics that the top players are using here in Madden 26, make sure you go down below, hit that subscribe button. I break down Madden 26 tips and tricks just like this to help you guys get better every single day, and you don't want to miss out on any of the content that I have. But if you want my free Saints offensive ebook, literally no catch, it's literally free, go down below in the comment section, comment the word free, I'll send it over to you. It goes through, it's a full written breakdown that you can save on your phone. We have, one play touchdowns, red zone plays, bombs, everything you're gonna need. And again, it's free. So go down below, comment the word free, I'll send it over to you, and let's jump right back into the video. Because next I'm gonna break down a hidden mechanic that's gonna allow you to play lockdown man coverage against basically every receiver in the game. Let me show you. Alright, so you can do this actually from any man coverage based play in the game, but you're going to come obviously into a man coverage play like cover one robber, alright? And so what you're going to notice is there's a thing called route shading. So you can shade your entire coverage outside, like I do here, or you can shade your entire coverage inside. Now, the thing is, if you do one, then you can get left and get beat on the other one. So what I mean by that is if you shade inside like I am right here, there's a chance that if Brian Thomas Jr. just runs a corner, he can get open. Again, not going to happen every time, like actually right here where he actually does a pretty good job in man coverage on him, but we understand that route shading isn't going to be your answer. Like obviously if you shade outside and he runs like a slant or a drag, he actually has the opportunity to get open across the field and be a completion. So it's like the better your man coverage defender, the better your man coverage is going to be when you shade in one direction. You see how again we shade inside, he runs a corner out, and we're actually able to play pretty good defense. And he had some separation, but that was actually pretty good coverage. So it's like number 7 right here, he's a good corner, and so he's able to kind of cover. But some of these other guys, maybe not so much. So what we're going to do to really cover our butt here is we're going to route commit these guys. So what we're going to do is we're going to press Y, or that's triangle on PlayStation, and then we're going to press A, which is X on PlayStation. So now we've opened the individual coverage menu. So now we're going to click onto whichever receiver we want to route commit for, which is going to be Brian Thomas Jr. number 7 here in this case. We're going to press Y, and then we're going to route commit outside by flicking the left stick, towards the left here. So again, I've now shaded my entire coverage inside, boom, and now I've route committed, him outside, just like this. And so now when they go to throw the corner out, we're going to have a lot better of an opportunity. You see how, again, he was, like I said, he was playing good defense last time, but it's like now he's basically running that route for the guy. Now, ags are certainly a thing in this game, like you're able to see right there where, Brian Thomas Jr. is like 6'4", so he goes up and, just mosses this dude at, at the ball's highest point. But it's like, this is like textbook defense. You're sitting on the route, you're running the route for him, you're in his hip, you go up and break on the ball. He just doesn't come down with it. But it's like, that's all you can do in defense, is make sure that your guys are in the right spot by route committing. Because again, look at this tight end. If I put my tight end on an out route here, I know who he's manned up against. So I put him on an out, he cooks him. As he should, right? He shaded, the man coverage is shaded inside. And so I just call an out route, and so now I'm better able to get that open. What you could do on that guy is, again, this time you're going to press Y, A, you're going to press A, and then you're going to route commit outside. Whereas now he's going to do a better job of not just getting cooked off the line. You see how that's much tighter coverage on Strange right there, and so we're able to guard him, and that's really the power of the route commit, something that not enough players know about on defense that's actually going to help them out. Boom, you just see how we're right here, we knock this pass away, and we're also able to, just play really great coverage on this tight end. He's literally in his hip, running the route for the guy, simply because we route commit. So bottom line here, you don't just want to use route shading. Route shading can help you out, but it's like, for example, this guy, if I shade my coverage outside, my linebacker, he didn't move. His body's still positioned inside. So what I have to do is make sure I tell him, hey, we think that this tight end is running an outside breaking route. I need you to get out there by route committing him outside. And again, now the tight end runs an out route, and we're basically running that route for the guy. Now he got bumped right there, but he's literally in his hip to actually guard that. So really, that's how you're going to turn your man coverage lockdown. I would recommend you do that on as many receivers as possible every single play before you get quick snapped, because it's just going to make your entire man coverage defense 10 times better. Alright, before I jump to those final two hidden mechanics that you're absolutely not going to want to miss here in Madden 26, I wanted to remind you to go down below, hit that subscribe button. I'm the only one right now breaking down Madden 26 tips and tricks to help you guys get better every single day, and you don't want to miss out on any of the content that I have. So what do you think? It's free to subscribe to this channel, so go down below, hit that subscribe button, and let's jump into those final two tips. Which is going to be a way that's going to stop you from getting sacked every single play, because you're going to actually be able to recognize the blitz way better. Let me show you what I mean. Alright, so I'm going to have them in a random play right here, and so really what I'm breaking down is these flame icons. Alright, so you see how there's a flame icon over the head of this defender right here and this defender right here. Alright, so I'm going to look at my player again, and now you see it. Those two guys have those, orange flames over them, which means if those guys blitz, they're coming in free. Now, what you have to understand is if there's a flame icon over the head of a defensive lineman, that's really bad, because all he has to do is he's just going to walk in the backfield, come in untouched, because he's probably blitzing. A slot corner, he might blitz, he might not. He probably won't blitz. So really what you have to do is really make sure that you understand who those flame icons are on. Again, defensive lineman blitzes, so I know I need to get rid of the ball or vacate the pocket. So that's what I try to do. Shout out Trevor Lawrence for missing a wide open target. But it's like, not every play they're going to be over the same guys. So you're going to notice how, again, they're over those two guys, and one of them blitzes, and so they're going to come in free. And so now I know that I need to get rid of the ball. What I would say about these flame icons is they're actually right like 75-80% of the time. If a guy with a flame icon over his head blitzes, he's probably going to come in completely untouched. So again, this time we step up in the pocket, we have plenty of time because we block our running back, and so we're able to turn that into a huge gain. So this is what's going to allow you to stop getting sacked all the time, right? Is just actually, before the play, looking at your player and seeing who has these flame icons over the head, and as soon as you snap the ball, you need to say, okay, are these guys blitzing? Those are the first guys that you're actually going to look at every play to see, are they blitzing or are they staying in, to just play in coverage. And so if they do stay into playing coverage, cool, now you know you have time. But if they blitz, you have to be ready to get rid of the ball. So again, they don't, and so now I know that I have time, I'm just going to step in the pocket and find Brian Thomas Jr. open down the field. So that's really what it is. You're just recognizing those guys because the game's not telling you, hey, they're blitzing. It's just saying, okay, if these guys do blitz, these are the guys that are coming free. So you see how, again, Brian Murphy, he comes in free and he sacks me. He had a flame icon over his head, he came in free, and so he sacked me. So that's really what it is. Whereas if I saw that before the play, I would have better been able to just get rid of the ball and find a guy open down the field, because again, I had everyone open. There's no flat on this side, so I needed to actually hit one of those reads and find those guys open. So really, like I said, this is going to drastically improve your pass protection, because you're going to play like a quarterback in real life where you're recognizing the blitz, you know where the pressure could potentially be coming from, and you're getting rid of the ball. You see how that guy on the left side comes in free, and so I would have needed to get rid of the ball. I did step in the pocket though, which is going to make it harder for him to actually come in completely untouched. But it's like that's what you're reading. That's what you're trying to see, is who has the flame icons over their head. And so if those guys do blitz, we know that they're going to come in free. And so that's really just going to help you recognize the blitz, because you see how, again, he had a flame icon, that defensive lineman. He came in free, but luckily I was able to find my safety blanket and get rid of the ball. This linebacker, he stays in. I'm able to take off in the area that he left and slide down. So really, this is going to help your pass protection. It's going to help you stop getting sacked, because you're going to look at your player before every play, see who these flame icons are over, and if they blitz, you know you need to get rid of the ball, because they're going to come in completely untouched. Alright, and the reality is you can be elite on offense. Passes, bombs, everything, but if you can't score touchdowns in the red zone, you're going to be totally lost. Let me show you a secret mechanic that's going to help you score more touchdowns in the red zone. Alright, so the mechanic we're going to be talking about is extending the ball over the goal line. This is something that not enough players know about, but basically, when you're in one-on-one tackling situations, if you hold the right stick up, your player is going to extend the ball. And it's most valuable when you're in, like, you're about to pick up a first down, you just need a few more yards, or you're obviously about to score a touchdown. So again, we're going to see how that right there, where that was a one-on-one tackling situation, but I was able to extend the ball to make sure that I scored. So you're going to look at the instant replay right here. So we're going to see Travis Etienne, boom, he gets the handoff, and you just see how he's extending that ball, like right there. He's extending that ball because he's in a one-on-one tackle. Now, what I will say is, as soon as a second defender comes to gang tackle, then that animation gets canceled. So you see how this is another one-on-one situation, but then number 0 came in and basically made it to where I can't extend the ball anymore. So again, it's really the best where like that right there, where that guy comes in free off the edge, but I only need a few more inches, a few more yards to be able to score a touchdown. And so I'm just going to extend that ball. And again, that's another example where they kind of converged and were able to bring me down. And so it really didn't matter. So again, right here, I'm going to see that gap's open and I'm going to try to extend that ball. It's obviously best, you know, it's really good when you're in these type of situations, but also when you have a situation like this where you're going to throw this ball out here and then you're going to extend that ball. Right, where that time obviously I didn't need to, but if you're going to call like an RPO, you're going to hike throw it, and then you just need to extend the ball to get a few more inches, right, then that's really where this becomes valuable. So again, throw this, and then I'm holding right stick up to make sure that if he does get into a tackle animation with me, he has no chance to actually stop me because I'm just going to extend the ball over the goal line. So again, throw it, and where that time I tried to throw it, and I wasn't able to. But it doesn't matter if it's a run, if it's a pass, anytime it's close quarters, anytime it could be tight, this is what you need to start doing. Just holding the right stick up and making sure that you get that ball out there. Again, this is actually just a pretty good RPO just in general, just because you're able to catch it in stride and not really need to extend the ball. But it's like, obviously, when you're in these type of situations where it's not just a walk-in touchdown, you need to get that last little inch to score a touchdown. This is going to be a great use case for you. So again, he tried to extend the ball right there. Again, when that second defender comes, it turns the animation off, and so you're not actually able to extend it. But right here, again, that's another example where it's just two guys, so I have nowhere to go. You're not necessarily looking for contact. You're still trying to run in free. Like that's the best example we've had so far, where it's like you're trying to find the gap and score, walk in, but like if someone just walks in and hits you, like this guy, well, now I need to get that last little burst, and you see how he just extends that ball. So this, again, is something that not enough players recognize, not enough players even know is in the game, but when you can start to extend the ball over the goal line to score more touchdowns, that's going to drastically improve your red zone offense, because too many times you get these phantom 1-yard line stops, whereas if you just extended the ball, you would have already scored. Alright, so if you found any of those 5 hidden mechanics that the top 1% of players are using right now, if you found them helpful in this video, make sure you go down below, hit that subscribe button. Again, I break down Madden 26 tips and tricks to help you guys get better every single day, and you don't want to miss out on any of the content that I have. But like I said earlier, if you want my free Saints offensive ebook, which is a full written breakdown that you can save on your phone with videos and screenshots to guide you, comment the word free down below. I'll send it over. It's really a no-brainer. It's literally free, and it's going to transform your offense and make it so much easier for you to score. But if you want to see my defensive ebook, which pairs perfectly with that Saints offense, check out this video right here. I'll see you over there. Peace.